So today we will start with the single phase induction motor. In the single phase induction motor, same constructions of this motor is used right here. The major difference between single phase and three phase induction motor is the supply. In single phase you use this single phase right here, whereas in three phase you use three phases. Okay, this is the major difference. Construction part is similar as we have seen in the three phase induction motor. It has two type of this particular stator part, but it has mainly two part. One is a stator part, outer part is called stator, whereas inner part of this motor is called a rotor. So this rotor and stator construction is shown like this. In the single phase induction motor, this is the outer part which is fixed, and we are not moving it, whereas this rotor part we can rotate this rotor part. Okay, so these two type of rotors we have seen in the previous session. First one is called squirrel cage rotor, whereas second one is called phase wound rotor. The major difference between these two rotor is that this squirrel cage rotor having connected directly to the shaft, whereas this phase wound rotor should be connected to the rings, and we can connect external resistances to this particular type of rotor. Okay, then we have seen the construction part of this squirrel cage rotor. Some aluminum end rings and aluminum brass and steel laminated cores are used inside this particular squirrel cage rotor, and this shaft is rotating when you apply the working principle to this particular squirrel cage rotor. Okay, then right here you can see what are the different advantages as well as disadvantages of this squirrel cage rotor. So first advantage is given that it is very simple and rugged construction is there. The low initial as well as maintenance cost is there. Maintain constant speed. Okay, so these are three major advantages of this particular squirrel cage rotor, but there are some limitations also for this squirrel cage rotor. First one is it is high starting current is required to start this rotor, and very sensitive to fluctuations in the supply voltage. So why this is very sensitive in the fluctuation of supply voltage? Because in a single phase supply you will see that sometime you receive 120 volt. Okay, and sometime you receive 130 volt. Okay, so fluctuation is there. Let's suppose that these are the two waveforms. First cycle you will receive at 120 volt or 220 volt. In the next cycle you receive 230 volt. So there is a 10 volt gap is there. Okay, so this fluctuation is there in between the voltages when you receive the input voltage, in case of single phase induction motor, whereas in three phase induction motor you have to take the average. You have to take the average of these three phases. Okay, first phase is this, second phase is this, and third phase is this. Okay, let's suppose that any one phase receive high voltage, and some phase will receive low voltage. Then you will take the average of this particular phase, and you will get constant speed of that motor in case of three phase induction motor, whereas in single phase induction motor it is not possible, because only one phase you have to connect with the motor. Okay, clear everyone? And low power factor for this light load is there in case of a single phase induction motor. And where we can use this type of squirrel cage rotor, we can use this squirrel cage rotors for industrial drives, small powerhouses, and speed control is not required, such as for the printing machinery, floor mills, and other shaft drivers of a small powers. Then centrifugal pump, we also used this type of motor, fans and blowers. So these are the applications where we can use this single phase induction motor. Then you can say slip ring rotor is there. We can also call it as a phase wound rotor. You can say the construction part is similar as case of squirrel cage rotor, but there is a major difference right here. You have to connect slip rings, and these slip rings should be connected to the brushes, and these brushes are connected to the resistances. Okay, and these resistances will provide the different resistance to slip rings, and you can control the speed of this particular motor using this phase wound rotor. Okay, so you can say the theory part, a slip ring induction motor is referred to as a synchronous motor as the speed at which it operates is not equal to the synchronous speed of the rotor. The rotor of its this type of a motor is Bund type. It it comprises of a cylindrical laminated sheet core and a semi-closed grooves at the outer boundary. Okay, so you can see the construction right here. So right here, this rotor, we can see it comprises of a cylindrical laminated steel core and semi-closed grooves at the outer boundary. Okay, these are semi-closed grooves at the outer boundary are placed right here. Okay, so this is called a slip ring rotor. Okay, or we can also call it as phase wound rotor. So some advantages and disadvantages of this slip ring rotor is also present right here. So what is the first advantage? High and excellent starting torque to support high initial load. Okay, so it has a low starting current due to the external resistance. So when you connect the external resistance right here, okay, these are the slip rings, and these slip rings are connected with the brushes, and these wires need to be connected with the external resistances. So when you connect external resistances right here, so small current will flow through this particular motor. Okay, and it will not damage the motor also. So can take full load current that is 6 to 7 times higher than the previous one. Okay, as we have seen in a squirrel cage motor. So disadvantage is also there. It includes higher maintenance cost due to the brushes and slip ring compared to the squirrel cage rotor motor, and intricate constructions. So its construction is somewhat complex. As you can see right here, we have to connect this shaft with the slip rings, and if you use extra material to the motor, so sometime these are some electronic components, they will be damaged. So higher cost you have to bear for this particular type of a rotor. So applications, you can use it in a elevator, compressors, cranes, conveyors. Okay, so there are so many other areas where you can use these type of slip ring rotors. Okay, or single phase induction motors. So what is the major difference between uh, these two type of rotors? So you can say right here, this rotor of a slip ring, it has a rotor of wound type, and its rotor of a squirrel cage type. And rotor slots, rotors had a cylindrical core, has parallel slots in which each slot has a bar. Okay, so this slip ring has a parallel slots, whereas in squirrel cage slots are not parallel to each other. So these slots, rotor slots, are not parallel to each other. Then construction, the construction is complicated. So as you have seen, you have to connect slip ring to the shaft. So its construction is somewhat complicated as compared to the squirrel cage rotor, because of the slip rings and brushes. Okay, clear everyone? In case of squirrel cage, we need not to connect any slip rings or brushes or any resistance. Then it is very easy to construct. Okay, and very simple also. So low cost is there. So external resistance here, in case of slip ring, external resistance circuits is to be connected with the motor, whereas in squirrel cage no need to connect any resistances because there is no provision to connect such type of resistances right here. Whereas the starting torque of this slip ring is very high, whereas in squirrel cage it is low. Why it is low? Because external resistances are not present in this type of motor. Okay, and efficiency of this slip ring is very low, whereas this squirrel cage is high. Okay, and the working principle is similar as we have seen in the three phase. You can see right here in the single phase induction motor, single phase AC supply is given to the stator winding. The stator winding carries an alternating current which produces the flux, which is also alternating in nature. This flux is called as a main flux. So this flux links with the rotor conductor, and due to the transformer action of EMF gets induced inside this rotor. So the induced EMF derive the current through the rotor. As a rotor circuit is the closed circuit. Okay, this rotor current produce another flux called rotate. This rotor flux rotate for the monitoring action. Thus, second flux is produced according to the induction principle due to induced EMF. Hence, the motor is called as a induction motor. So, as against this in the DC motor, a separate supply is required to the armature to produce the armature flux. So this is an important difference between the DC motor and the induction motor. Okay, and you can see the applications of this single phase induction motor. We can use these single phase induction motors: fan, refrigerator, air conditioner, vacuum cleaners, washing machines, centrifugal pumps, and small farming applications. The phase 1, this is phase 2, this is phase 3. So how many windings you have connected? This is first winding, second winding, and third winding. So first phase is connected right here, second, third. Okay, so accordingly this phase will change, and your motor will start doing the operations. So you can see the three phase induction motor is an preferable type of a motor. It is mostly used in industrial drives because it is a very reasonable and vigorous, economically and reliable. Okay, it is also called as a asynchronous motor because it does not run at a synchronous speed. So this induction motor requires very little maintenance and also has a high overloading capacity. Okay, then you can see the different parts of this three-phase induction motor. So end wall is used right here to close this particular stator part. Okay, here wiring cover is used to connect the external three-phase supply to this stator part. Here motor frame is used to connect some nut and bolts to fix this particular stator part, and this is a stator which is placed right here, and inside this stator we have to place this rotor. Okay, and on this particular rotor we have to place some fan blades to extract the heat from inside this particular stator part. Okay, then and ball is used right here to enclose this particular rotor part inside the body. So in the case of three phase AC alternating current operations, the most widely used motor is a three-phase induction motor, as this type of motor does not require any additional starting devices. So these type of motors are also known as self-starting induction motors. Okay, so construction part you can see right here, all these four parts are combined together to form a three-phase induction motor. So you can see a three-phase induction motor mainly consists of two parts, as a stator and a rotor. The stator is the stationary part of the induction motor and the rotor is the rotatory part. And there are two types of a rotor, such as a squirrel cage rotors and slip ring. So same type of rotors we have used in case of single phase also. Okay, so the stator is built up of high grade alloy steel laminations to reduce the eddy current losses, and it has three main parts, namely outer frames, stator core, and stator winding. So you can see right here, this is the diagram of a stator, and here you can see the stator slots is given, stator lamination you have to provide, shaft is there in this particular position. Air gaps are also there to exhaust the hot air to the environment. Then rotor lamination you have to provide right here, and rotor slots are given right here. Okay, so this is your stator. Then this squirrel cage rotor, you already seen this squirrel cage rotor. Here you can see the conductor you have to place parallelly, and these conductors are shorted with the help of this circulating rings, and you have to connect some bearing with the shaft to rotate that bearing, external devices, and then a rotor shaft is connected with some fans to exhaust the hot air to the environment. So in a squirrel cage rotor consists of a laminated cylindrical core, the uh, the circular slots of the outer periphery, and a semi closed portion, and each slot contain a uni uh, uninsulated bar conductors and aluminiums or copper. Okay, so this is a squirrel cage. Whereas in slip ring rotors or phase wound rotor, you can see the construction part right here. I have told you that these rings are connected with the resistances. Okay, these rings are connected with the resistances. So you can say this is a star connected rotor winding. Three-phase supply you have provided right here. So this three-phase supply is to be connected with the slip ring. Okay, so one phase is connected right here, second phase is connected right here, and third phase is connected right here. Okay, so these three-phase supply is to be connected with the slip ring, and these slip rings are to be connected with some resistances. Okay, these are some external resistances. Okay, so in three-phase bunt rotor, it is also called as a slip ring rotor. It consists of a cylindrical core which is laminated. The outer periphery of a rotor has a semi-closed slot which carries a three-phase insulated winding. The rotor winding are also connected in a star formation. So this is a star, or you can use this star as well as delta also. This is a star formation. Okay. So when a three-phase supply is given to the motor, the resulting current generates a magnetic flux phi. Due to the switching sequence of a three-phase current, that is R, by and B. So these are three phases. Phase 1 red, phase 2 yellow, phase 3 blue. The generated flux rotate around the rotor conductor. Okay. According to the Faraday law, which states that an EMF induced in any closed circuit is due to the rate of change of magnetic flux through the circuit. Okay, so EMF is induced in the copper bar, and due to this, current flow inside the rotor, and the direction of the rotor can be given by the Lenz law, which states that the direction of induced current will be in the opposite direction of motions causing it. So here is the relative velocity between the rotating flux and static rotors, conductors in the case, in the cause of the current generations. Hence, the rotor will rotate in the same directions to reduce the cause, that is the relative velocity, thus rotating the rotor of the induction motor. Okay, so this part we already completed. Okay, let's see the formula again, how you have to calculate the synchronous speed, that is equal to 120 f divided by p. So this is the angle of separation between each phase, that is 120. Okay, whereas f is the supply frequency and p is the number of poles. Okay, ns is the synchronous speed you have to achieve with this formula. We have seen how to calculate this slip, so we have already completed this topic also. So slip is equal to ns minus n divided by ns multiplied by 100. Ns is the synchronous speed, okay, whereas this nr is the rotor speed. And you have to calculate the percentage, that's why you have multiplied it by 100. So you can see the slip is an induction motor is the difference between the mean flux speed and their rotor speed. The synchronous, or we can see the symbol of S represent the slip. It is represented by the percentage of synchronous speed, and mathematically you can represent it S is equal to Ns minus N divided by Ns multiplied by 100, whereas Ns is the synchronous speed and Nr is the rotor speed. Okay. Then we have seen how we can calculate the rotor speed of the motor. Okay, just we have to rearrange the equation and we will put the formulas right here. So the rotor speed is given by this particular formula, that is nr is equal to ns into 1 minus s, where we can say this ns is the synchronous speed of uh, this revolution per seconds, and nr is the actual rotor speed in revolution per second, whereas s is the slip of the motor. Okay, then how you will calculate the frequency of a rotor? This is the formula for the frequency. Fr is equal to s into fs. Okay, you will put this S is the slip value, Fs is the supply frequency. Okay, and if your slip is 1, then what happen? Your Fr and Fs, that is frequency of a rotor and frequency of this supply frequency, both will become equals. Then you can say there is no rotations. Okay, so advantage is given for this three-phase induction motor. They are robust and simple in construction with very few moving parts. They can efficiently operate in a rugged or hashed environment such as sieging vessels. So the maintenance cost of a three-phase induction motor is also very less, and unlikely that of the DC or a synchronous motor, that we do not have parts like brushes, commutators, or slip rings. So you have seen in case of this, we have various advantages over the DC motors also, and some disadvantages also there for three-phase induction motor. During the starting, it draw high initial starting current when attached to the heavy load. So when you connect any heavy load, you need to draw some large current. Okay, so that's big disadvantage. Then induction motor operate as lagging power factors, which result in increasing L2R or I square R losses, that is a copper loss. Okay, and the efficiency reductions, especially at a low load, and the speed control of a three-phase induction motor is difficult as compared to the DC motor. So supply first parameter is there. In single phase, we use the single phase supply for its operation, whereas in three phase, we use the three phases for its operation. Maintenance, it is easy and easy to use and repair also, and it is very easy to maintain also, single phase, whereas in three phase more components are needed and a more complex circuit is there. So that's why it is somewhat difficult to repairs and maintain. Efficiency, you can see only single phase is there, so fluctuation is there. So if fluctuations are there, then efficiency will fall. So that's why its efficiency is less, whereas in three phase you will take the average flux average input phase, so its efficiency is high, and working is also smoother. Okay, so power factor is also low in case of single phase induction motor, whereas the power factor is high in case of three phase induction motor. As an application, they are mostly used in domestic appliances, okay, such as mixer, grinder, fans, compressors, or etc. Whereas three-phase induction motor is used mostly for the industries, and cost for this single phase is cheaper, whereas in three phase more components are there, so that's why it's a quite expensive